rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Ganty, so the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
That's a super creepy main pick. Where the hell did you get that? Did you just make that?
I plastered in Rick Hahn's face.
It's such a weird pick, dude. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should be following us on Twitter because you can see all those handiwork.
I'll drag it in here.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody, and Happy New Year. You have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. It is Thursday, January 5th, 2023. Big year for 23s in Chicago. I am your host, Matt Zwoski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
First of all, Happy New Year to you and yours, everybody listening. Number 2, everyone watching, listening live right now and later on the podcast. I want everyone to know that since 2021, Eric Hosmer has a higher slugging percentage than Christian Yelich. So if everyone could please do me the favor of passing that information around, I would greatly appreciate it.
Then after that, you can look at Christian Yelich's stats and realize it's not that impressive.
Also that.
Mitch,
I love it, Mitch. Yeah, no, keep that energy going. I love it.
Don't give him that. Don't do that.
I love it. I'm sick and tired of the Sox fans trying to be Brewers fans, too.
The good Reverend K. Fitz. Oh, my goodness.
Palpatine looking over like Darth Vader.
You know, I'd like to be the first to make sure that we're clear that I am the first person to coin the phrase Hosmervis. So it is Hosmervis season at Wrigley this summer in 2023. So I'm pretty stoked. Fear the Hosmervis.
I'd buy that shirt. Fear the Hosmervis.
Print the shirts, Aldo. And the no longer rookie.
This on the back.
Sophomore Mitch.
I'm ready for a big breakout 2023 campaign.
For you?
And he got introduced as number 23. Benny Biceps. Benny in the Jet. Benny 75 million. I'm ready.
Yeah. Benny 75 mil. So yeah, the White Sox made the Benintendi deal official. He did his whole press conference, and I will say Benny did his homework. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Cubs locked down the big free agent that Aldo and Fids were pining for all offseason, and they get Eric Hosmer.
Let's not forget.
Ever since the trade deadline.
Yep.
Let's not forget Tucker Barnhart also had his press conference on Wednesday.
It's hard to forget something you didn't know happened.
No,
So
Tucker back and let her rip. Let's go.
I actually really like the Tucker Barnhart signing for the Cubs. But so we'll talk about that. And then again, we are in off-season podcast mode. So we asked for some user-submitted questions, and we got some. If you're watching us live, please feel free to join in the comments and ask questions, or just give us a topic, and we'll talk amongst ourselves. So all that being said, let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications so you can see who the Bears draft first overall. Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. And also brought to you by Uncle Bud's. I heard the place, actually I know for a fact because I was with one of the owners on New Year's Eve and saw the live feed cam. That place was bumping on New Year's Eve, shoulder to shoulder. But make sure you're checking out, always doing a lot of live specials. And they're going to be doing a friend of our show, the I'm Fat podcast, is going to be doing a live broadcast from Uncle Bud's on January 14th. So if you're on the South Side and you're looking to go get some good eats, see a good podcast, and probably get drunk, head over to Uncle Bud's, 9600 South Cicero, and see the I'm Fat podcast get recorded. That's on January 14th. Tell them Zoe sent you. All right. Let's start with that picture right there. We're going to start with Andrew Benintendi. If you want to read a full recap You can go to sportsmockery.com. NASCAR Mitch there wrote a great recap of the press conference. It's pretty standard, pretty, sunshine and rainbows. Some of the things that I did find interesting, they asked him, 23 is a pretty big number in Chicago, boss. Like, why'd you choose 23? He said, first and foremost, because the numbers he usually wears are all retired in Chicago. Valid. And then he said, while I'm a big fan of Michael Jordan, fan of Jermaine Dye, fan of Robin Ventura, he started ripping off 23s, which, okay. He said his sister wore number 32 her senior year or some shit like that, and he just flipped the number around. So he's wearing it in honor of her. So
Did she wear 32 to honor Adam Dunn?
I think so, actually. I think that's where it all came down.
Full circle.
And as Fids and Aldo did mention before we went live, 123 he did not mention was Ryan Sandberg. So love Andrew Benintendi just stirring that BP Cup pot. It's going to be hot this year.
No, guys, remember, we talked about this last year. We have to stop giving BP free pub. We turned it into the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast cup.
The Pinwheels and Ivy Crosstown Cup. I like it.
There we go.
Print the shirts. I wonder how much that would cost.
To sponsor the Crosstown.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of you to subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
If we want to make that dream a reality.
Starting to fund me. They got a billboard because of that.
Yeah, there you go.
We can get something going.
That would actually, I bet you we might be onto something because it's so funny. It's so funny that
it sounds kind of, even if you've never heard of the show, like Pinwheels and Ivy is a good name regardless.
It's a good name for a Crosstown Cup. Holy shit, are we doing this? I think we should do this.
Pinwheels and Ivy Crosstown Cup?
I don't know what we need to set the goal at. Like, how much do you think that costs?
We'll do some research. We'll do some marketing research.
We have to call the Cubs guy who tried to get the Bears president job.
Yeah, we'll get.
He's like in marketing.
We'll get the boys in the lab to do some market research. They're putting in the work. They have lab coats and shit. We'll get a number. We'll set the goal. We'll start a GoFundMe for it because that would be amazing.
Like maybe we get enough to like sponsor the first inning, like the first pitch.
The
first pitch of the Pinwheels and Ivy Crosstown Cup.
I want to sponsor the trophy. I want them all holding up a Pinwheels and Ivy.
Which I feel like they've like redesigned it like 4 different times. I remember there was one Sox Fest where they were like having people vote on what the new trophy should be. Like, it can't be that hard.
Well, that's why they canceled Sox Fest. they didn't like your guys' votes.
Yeah,
they didn't like the new trophy design.
So yeah, Fizz, we're gonna do a GoFundMe once we figure out the target number to rename the Crosstown the Pinwheels and Ivy Crosstown Cup.
I'm looking this up. Does it even have a sponsorship anymore? Let's see.
I think it's just called the Crosstown Cup.
I have $4.
This might be cheap. This might not be as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah.
If it's just an open, untaken sponsorship, what our $2,000 is better than zero.
That's right.
I mean, I think it would really be cool if we could have you like as the picture on the trophy too be the picture of you that when you use that animated software that took your beard away.
That'd be scary, and I like it.
Terrifying.
As long as I get to present the trophy too. Like I want to like they do on the bowl games because I've been watching all the college bowl games. Like, and Matt Zawaski, co-host of Pinwheels and Ivy, is here to present Andrew Benintendi with the
Hi, Andrew Vaughn.
And the traditional mayonnaise shower.
Yeah.
In the cooler.
Hi guys. Remember that time when you beat the Cubs? That was awesome.
It sounds like whale, the unicorn whale in Elf. Bye, buddy. Good luck finding your dad.
This show is off to a hot start. The one actual baseball thing that from the press conference that I thought was interesting was when they asked him about his decrease of power.
Yeah.
So, Mitch, what was his answer to that?
He pointed the finger at the Kauffman Stadium he was playing, and he said he was frustrated the year before. He was hitting a lot of fly balls that could have been home runs, but they were just resulting in flyouts. So he changed his approach during the offseason to try and hit for average and like hitting the gaps at Kauffman. And I mean, it worked. First 93 games he played there, or he was hitting 320, but as a result, only had 5 home runs. So he thinks his ballpark better suits his skill set. So, I mean, we've seen him hit 20 home runs before. He had 17 the year before that. So, anything's possible. I don't think he's going to be a huge power guy, but I definitely think you'll see an increase because of that. Because I do think that's a legitimate reason. That's a huge ballpark, and tough to hit a lot of home runs there. So,
yeah, and he didn't say it at the press conference, but it was an interview before the press conference. He was talking about how his hip feels better.
yeah,
He can pull the ball more. He said he can get back to trying to pull the shit out of the ball. So
A little more of that Elvis pelvis.
yep. So he can just bombs away in the 108. So
I made some predictions for the 2023 White Sox, and I had Benintendi and TA combining for at least 25 home runs. So
I can get behind that.
they only had 8 combined in 2022.
Yeah, I think health, ballpark, where he'll be in the lineup. There's a lot of things. I mean, I'm thinking you're getting at least over 10 home runs from Benintendi.
I think you could get 30 from the pair.
Oh,
like
I thought you were about to say from Andrew. I was like, yo.
I think you get about 15 apiece.
Yep, I think Tim Anderson will be healthy too.
By the way, guys, we might have some competition for the sponsorship
Shit.
because unbeknownst to me, and I'm pretty sure you guys, because you guys had no idea, but the 2022 Crosstown Cup was brought to you by Wintrust.
Fuck.
Those bastards.
They literally, their business is having money. It's going to be very hard to outbid them.
Tough competition, but I mean,
Hey, the power of a GoFund.
Yeah.
it's true.
I mean, you want some good PR, White Sox and Cubs? Kick it back to the working man.
Yeah.
Kick it back to the little guy.
The Pinwheels and Ivy working man's crosstown.
Crosstown Cup.
Cup.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I like
Yeah.
it. I
It
like
comes
that.
with a complimentary jar of elbow grease.
Yep, and everyone wears Carhartts.
Yeah.
Or dungarees.
Yes. Actually, instead of a green jacket like the Masters, you get a fucking tan Carhartt jacket if you're the MVP.
I mean, yeah.
It's like midsummer. It's like late July, and you're gonna put on this big ass jacket.
Some steel toe boots.
I mean,
Winners.
Fuck is this thing?
this thing just writes itself, man. I mean, holy shit. What's it
I
about?
think we could get something good.
Maybe write this proposal up so we can
Yeah.
send it to Jerry and the Ricketts.
We need a good PowerPoint with a lot of star wipes.
Yeah.
Star wipes are key, dude. Gotta
Yeah,
have the star
Hardwood background too. That
wipes.
always really
Star
impressive.
wipe to the Carhartt jacket. Yeah. Got to
Like, hey,
Photoshop
Tom,
that.
you want to buy an election in Illinois? Give it the unions.
18 kilobyte picture of the jacket too, so it's really pixelated.
This is
on
beautiful.
the
This is
PowerPoint.
all coming together. The 20-something people watching this, if you're just turned in now, you don't know what you missed in the first 10 minutes. It's been a while.
Any biceps is wearing a Carhartt jacket next
Yeah.
July, you'll know why.
Yep. Instead of the golden spikes, you get the golden steel toe boots.
Jerry, we'd like to talk to you about an exciting opportunity.
Yes.
Everyone is talking about.
Yeah. Investors, possibly you.
Put liquid Band-Aid on a bee. It died.
It died. So Andrew Benintendi's press conference, cool. The better bad baseball team of Chicago, presented by Pinwheels. And I see this thing is just, I love it.
Now we're talking.
I love
Presented
it. I love
by
it.
Carhartt.
Presented by Carhartt. The Admiral presents the cross. Fuck the Admiral. We gotta get one of the dirty South suburban.
Oh, I thought you said brought to you by Adderall. That'll work too, probably.
There's
with
an Addy
the
shortage
show
right now,
sometimes.
dude.
Don't I know it?
I work in tech sales, man. People are hurting. Let me tell you.
Shit.
Okay, so in the first 10 minutes, we've sponsored the Crosstown Cup.
We got Benintendi and TA 30 plus home runs.
That number jumped. So
Well,
we're at
I'm
Yeah, 30
following
plus,
Mitch's
yeah.
lead.
That means all those predictions right. What's not to like?
Yeah,
Actually,
mine's at
no.
least 25. Mitch,
I don't.
Mitch,
I don't.
Gonna hit like they both are gonna hit like 15 apiece, roughly. Maybe one will have
16, 14 or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Like,
I do have to say they have to change the baseballs or the humidor or something.
I
Like, there's
think
no way they do the same
I
shit.
don't have a rhyme or reason.
Goldilocks.
100%. 100. I cannot.
Oh, no shit.
100. I'm not fooling
You been to
around, guys.
Barcelona? Is
I'm
that-
not fooling
Seriously,
around.
guys.
We're gonna have to work on that for the presentation to Reinsdorf. Can't be
Yeah, he's
You get up there and you
what
say
accent
Jerry
is this?
Reinsdorf. He's gonna be like,
Mr. Reinsdorf.
"Out of here."
100% think that we're gonna get a lot of Goldilocks balls this year.
Better.
Which is such a weird thing. Goldilocks and balls. Like we're gonna get Goldilocks balls. Like she didn't have balls, but
You're gonna
It's still
have to
insane
rub
to me.
the, mud on the Goldilocks balls again.
It is still insane to me that like how is this a huge how is this big of a problem?
Well,
Like they can't have a uniform. This is our baseball.
It's dumb that it's a problem. It's even dumber that they didn't think someone would figure it out.
Imagine the NBA. Like, yeah, we're gonna use just different balls. We don't know. Like, you're gonna get the crappy ones, the like the dark brown 20-year-old basketballs.
We want our
out in
refunds
Boston.
to go up.
But you gotta think of it this way though, too. These things are mass produced. And yes, you should have uniform quality across the board, but when there's so many baseballs produced for Major League Baseball on a yearly basis, there has to be like a fractional air, like room for error. Plus, you got to send them around the country. You've got to airship some to California, to Florida, to Seattle. Like so,
all that, but
transit and stuff does affect it, but there's got to be a way to make this work. Like, we call them blem balls. There's like dead balls you basically use for like soft toss. Basically, they're shitty. You hit them like 55 times and the laces come undone. Some of these feel like blend balls sometimes, and just with no seams. Which blend balls like the kind that the seams are so elevated, you're like, God dang. But I don't know. Gotta be something.
Right. Well, pro tip here: don't search Goldilocks balls on Twitter because the first thing that comes up,
Oh, Jesus.
you don't want to see that.
How
No,
was her
this is-
Adam's apple?
This is a
Wow.
pro tip for anyone on
She was
Twitter. You have
really
to be,
getting into
sometimes you have
that.
to be very specific in your searches. 'Cause the other day, I was just trying to find some
Wow.
information on a Cubs prospect, and I got some stuff that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Wow.
that guy that played for Reno, baseball player. His name was Owen Sharp, and that would be a rough Google search.
I just
Owen
searched
Sharp.
Goldilocks balls, and the first thing that came out was this lady was just getting a face full.
Dude.
Holy
So
smokes!
Let's
it
see,
was
share
just
with the
right.
crowds,
Was it just right? Was it a little too hot? Was it a little too cold? What was the porridge like? really on
Definitely
her
wasn't
face?
too cold.
Got the porridge right on the chin.
But
We're talking about a Bella Danger.
first of all, they need to be able to figure this out. But again, how did they not think some baseball nerd, who I'm using the term nerd endearingly, but like somebody wasn't gonna figure out this was happening. Like Aaron Judge, every home run Aaron Judge hit became a collector's item. Someone's gonna dissect one of those baseballs. You know what I mean? Like, how did they not think that someone was gonna find out about this?
Especially because this had been happening every year since like 2018.
Right.
Like there were studies on it every single year.
We've been
Like
talking
of course
about
they were going to do it again.
Yeah, and they're going to do it again this year. Someone's going to go around and collect the baseballs like they did last year, and they're going to dissect them, and they're going to figure it out again.
I might bet Eric Hosmer over home runs.
If they bring back, if
3.5.
Exactly.
You know.
God damn it, Mitch.
like we all
I don't
knew,
mind. In all seriousness, I don't even mind Eric Hosmer. You could do worse. He hasn't been great the last couple of years, but he was a pain in the ass in Kansas City, so I respect him for it.
I think it'll be fine on the Cubs.
Sox killer.
He could be wearing the Carhartt jacket.
He
could
could, I
be.
mean, he's the perfect guy for the Carhartt jacket.
He could be. But yeah, I mean, going back to the charged up baseballs though, like there was games that you would watch where you just knew, like the White Sox Field of Dreams game. You're like, okay, those are juice balls. Like Tim Anderson's game-winning home run.
Oh, in 21. Yeah.
Yeah, that just not about a home run.
My guy Seb, though, that was a legit home run. That was
Yeah, Seb smoked that ball. Yeah,
no, like geez.
juice the ball so Grandal can hit 6 home runs this year. Hey, he's healthy.
He's gonna have 6 by hello. Nah, I don't even gonna make that prediction. We'll see.
I feel like Grandal is the type that's gonna have a really big first half of the year, and then like he's gonna remember he's old and
Not
hurt,
even that.
and
I
then-
was going to tell you guys, watch him go crazy in spring training. And then, like, end of April, he's like,
He's
done
gonna
again.
hurt himself near the end
Yeah.
of the training,
Yeah.
and then the knees will be all messed up, and then he might go on a run in like August or September when we're trailing the Guardians by 7 games in the standings.
But yeah, How do we even get there? Oh, combined home runs. Yeah,
Combined
I
home
think
runs.
30 is a good number there. I like 30. I've convinced myself 30 is a good.
But with the juice balls, it's only going to work if we're in a lot of big games. If we're not playing in big games, they're not going to juice the balls.
First one against Houston.
That first series against Houston, juice them up so Jose Abreu can complete my prophecy.
TA, and Benny Biceps back to back to start the game. Ooh.
Would love it.
He's your number 2 hitter, right?
It's going to be like
Probably,
that scene
yeah.
from Major League where Anderson will get on with like an infield single and then get picked off. Hey, we're going to start off the season good.
It's a good omen. It's a good omen this year.
Gosh, bad
Yeah,
day.
I would imagine Benintendi bats second this year.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot for him too.
Yeah, I
If
think
you get the extra power, great. But if not, if he's like a 280 hitter, like
Yeah.
that's fine. Move the guy though.
easily could be 280.
Oh,
I think it's
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think it again, like we've said when it was originally announced. I think it's a solid signing.
What's so sad about it too, because like highest paid player in franchise history, and he talked about how he's like kind of uncomfortable with the tank. He got like the Sox got a pretty good deal on him. The fact that he's the highest paid player in franchise history makes it sound like it's this huge deal, but 15, 16 million a year for a player his caliber, like it's pretty reasonable, relatively speaking. Just the White Sox are cheap historically. So it sounds like a lot more.
No, it's a good and the breakdown of the deal, like $8 million this year.
Yeah. I think that's covering for Grandal's final
Yep.
18 million they're paying before they unload his contract.
Which makes me kind of like him even more that he allowed for that to happen.
Yep.
You know,
I think he's still getting like what is it, like a $5 million
$3
signing
million.
bonus?
Yeah, 3 million.
$3 million
$3
signing
million?
bonus to $8 million this year, and then
16 and a half,
He's getting,
14 and a half the last year.
but yeah,
I like their
mean,
optimism though. It's like, hey, wait, more room to spend.
yeah, that's not happening.
I think they got enough for like a small-ish move, maybe.
Yeah,
But
but they
no
won't
one
make
do
it. They
sign.
won't make it.
Yeah.
You
They
save that
won't.
money for the All-Star break and the trade deadline, so you can add a little bit
There you
of
go.
Yeah, I'm guaranteeing you, Fids. That's how they're gonna spin it.
cushions under the couch, really.
Yeah.
Well, you
yeah.
know what second baseman is still out there, and no, I'm not going to say Nick Madrigal. Not going to say it,
Oh,
but I
okay.
think. Well, speaking of Nick Madrigal, I think Cesar Hernandez is still out there.
I'm good. I'm good.
So is Jonathan VR.
You guys don't want to
Well,
run
if
that
you're-
back?
For
No.
the Sox fans that are interested, tomorrow sometime, there should be an article, Sports Mockery. about all the-
Remaining second base options.
They're on the trade block. That they
Yeah.
can,
Okay.
You got Harrison and Elvis is still out there too.
I hate the Elvis idea.
I know.
That's been floated around way too much. Yeah, let's have the guy that doesn't play second base be our second baseman. That completely overperformed offensively last year. That's not gonna happen.
I don't think the position matters. He'll be able to pick it just fine. He's a middle dude. Middle's
But I also feel like
easier actually at second. So
I feel like it's one of those classic. If it's so obvious, then why is he still available?
Like that.
age.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's
And he
because
was not
that
good
was
his whole
literally
career
best
except for the
6
last
weeks
4
of his
months.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be fine with them bringing Josh Harrison back. As crazy as it sounds, considering the options we have, but I don't think I mean, it's not great. But like he wasn't terrible last year. Like he heated up. Like everyone's blinded by how bad he was the first 2 months of the season,
That's true.
but he turned it around near the back.
What? Yeah, actually, it was right after Zoslander. Actually, I think Zoslander really inspired him. In the chat, I got shit on for saying, "Hey, Harrison's
Well, like-
not too bad. He
But
sucks."
it's just,
And then
do you know what it is though? It's just because like he has that 2022 White Sox stink on him.
He does.
Yeah,
Like it's
He
just
does.
like, oh, we're just gonna bring that another guy who was kind of part of the problem early on. Like even when he got hot, it didn't matter.
What about Jose Iglesias?
Oh, that dude's a stud defensively. He
He
can't
probably-
hit, but that dude is
He can't- yeah.
amazing with the glove.
I mean, he dropped to 292, 328, 380 this year in 467 plate appearances
Was that with
that
the
makes
Rockies
me
or
proud.
with the Angels? Who's he
with
with?
the Rockies.
Rockies.
Guys, I think this is really all for naught.
He rarely walks or hits home runs, but he's a
Perfect
threat.
for the
25
Sox.
plus doubles.
Contact,
Oh,
high
Rock-
batting
Sounds
average
like a White
hitter.
Sox here. Except for
Sounds
the
like
defense.
Captain
The defense is too good to be a White Sox. But other than that,
They're
He
gonna
hits a lot of
go,
doubles. A lot of doubles are fine. I'll
they're
take
going
doubles.
they're going with one of the kids.
oh yeah,
It's just what
So
they're going to
quick
be
straw
spinning
poll,
Rami
is it gonna be
Gonzalez. It's
Sosa?
gonna. I think it's going to be a platoon. Realistically, Sosa has higher offensive potential, but I think going to be Gonzalez and Garcia getting the bulk of the time early on.
Which great. They both know they're in a competition going into it. Hopefully, they're both getting where they need to be. Maybe one of them has a breakout year.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Now it's just like
We're in the acceptance point of the style.
It's January. We got them. Like 2 months until pitchers and catchers report. Like,
No, like 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's not that it's Valentine's Day ish.
Yeah.
I usually gauge it by when Sox Fest is. So yeah.
Well, too bad you can't.
You're
do
wandering
that.
aimlessly at that point.
Yeah.
Without
Well,
a
we got
map.
108 day.
When's the Cup start?
108 day on Saturday. So I'm basically considering 108 day my Sox Fest.
There we go.
By the way, the reason I put the Han just creepily looking at Benintendi was just because of that quote that he had about how, they've been waiting 7.5 years for him.
Yeah, they've been hamming that up a little too much. Like, it's a little uncomfortable now.
You tried to draft him and then trade for him twice.
And I remember looking at you when you were young, Andrew.
In the offseason, it's like, all right, dude, we get it.
You were just such a stud in college. You really
I
filled
love
out
your
those white
biceps,
pants.
Benny.
Yeah. Oof.
I finally got you.
That's basically how it was.
Wait, Mitch, do that, but like do it in the Han voice. Let's see.
Oh, Andrew Benintendi filled out those tight pants.
Creepier.
Very nice.
Creepier. Make it creepier.
We love the way he projects from the left side of the plate.
There you go.
The way he thrusts his hips through the zone. We've tried to acquire him on multiple occasions.
Now that his hip is back into shape. Bring him in.
With a slimming pinstripe uniform.
Yep.
And I'm teasing me with those white pants.
Real quick, speaking of 108 day, I will be there. If you see me, just come and talk to me. Like there was some like weird encounters the last time they did this.
You gonna have a name tag on?
Yeah, well they did last time. They had name tags and I put Southside Zoe on it so people would know whomst I was.
We get to start spreading the word about the Pinwheels and Ivy
The Crosstown
Cup presented by
Oh yeah, go plant some seeds.
I like the better
Carhartt.
bad baseball team of Chicago.
That's going to be hard to get sponsorship for. They're not going to want bad baseball team associated with them.
That's true. The tallest. No. Yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, dude, if you see me at 108 day, a really good way to say hello to me is with a Busch Light Tall Boy. They sell those at Reggie's.
Get his autograph. I hear they're going for like $25 or so on eBay.
Oh
Yeah.
You could. Will you sign a Bush a used Zoe Bush bottle for people?
Busch Light can absolutely.
That could be a good giveaway for the 108 day. The first
I will.
16 people in.
I'll bring this Sharpie. You can have a Busch Light can signed by the Prince of Busch Light.
Or you can use that if someone passes out. You can draw a fake mustache and a penis on their forehead. So
I don't know why I wouldn't have it on me then. I'll have this on me, and also I might on a napkin design my first mock-up for the Crosstown Cup brought to you by Pinwheels and Ivy podcast trophy. We already have the Carhartt jacket for the MVP.
there you go.
shoes. We got the steel
steel
toe.
toe
the
boots.
golden steel toe boots.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe we can work out a deal with like Uncle Bud's or like Mr. Sub or anything like that.
Instead of drenching them in mayo, like the mayo bowl, we'll
No, I'm just saying
Elbow
like
grease. Just put
like
elbow grease.
you know how in the World Series if someone steals a base and everyone gets a free taco?
Yeah.
Maybe if someone steals a base, everybody gets like free Mott sticks from Mr. Sub or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoe. Secret giveaway. Is it a secret giveaway meaning like you give something away and nobody knows about it because you kept it a secret, or
Is it a secret giveaway like the Grateful Dead where they're like, "Ha, you're all on acid now"?
or it's like he gives
Y'all
something
been
away
drugged.
nobody ever knows?
Well, I wouldn't put that past myself.
Is it better than a signed Zoe Busch Light can?
Probably not.
I hope it's like a poster of beef autograph.
Probably
You
not.
should just have your own silent auction, Zoe.
You don't have a poster of beef fits? Anyways, I thought everybody had that.
I just
Like
needed a
the
second one.
shirtless
I need one with a little bit more skin.
Mine's
The one
right
that you
here.
put on the
I mean,
ceiling.
Yeah.
I keep it right here
Anywho,
so I can make eye contact with it awkwardly a lot.
Anyway, did you guys
Beef
catch
loaf with
Jeff
the
Passan?
WWE belt.
Oh, yeah.
108?
Oh, that
Oh,
was
it's fantastic.
fantastic.
I mean,
That dude is
that-
so quick. He's
that was
quick.
technically 2023, right?
I think it was.
That was a week ago.
No, it
I
was
think it
before
was
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was
before New Year's Eve.
2022.
It was 22. So I would call that arguably the best baseball podcast of 22.
Hmm,
Oh,
I seriously, I've thoroughly enjoyed that segment. From
Who
how
knew?
awkward my Sox summer was. He totally reminded me of Chris Farley interviewing Paul McCartney. To
Jeff being like, "All right, are you guys gonna put him back on mute?"
yeah, like all right.
I
But
Like,
mean,
all right, are you done?
Did you see how much my Sox summer made passing scoring when he would use like words like cuck and like he would get dirt, like use dirty, like you know. I mean, but the thing about passing is he's really
there's this
fucking
other part
fast
too.
on Twitter, but seeing him live, just letting it down too, he's quick. Like he's quick-witted, man. He's funny. He's like seriously funny.
always a big fan of Jeff's, but after that, I am a huge fan of Jeff Passan. Not like he's always been my go-to, but after that appearance, it was like fuck yeah. Like the history there between him and Beef was always funny, but for him to come on the show and be funny and like talk about red vine licorice and all that shit, but then also like it was like someone like flipped a switch in the back of his head and he went into like ESPN baseball reporter mode.
When he broke down the White Sox spending,
Yeah.
like his comments about that were hysterical. Like
I remember the part now, the other like, or it wasn't that he made it funny, but what it was, I think it was my Slack Summer was asking him if he thought Ricky Renneria and Pedro Grifol were like similar type managers, and Jeff's like, why? Because they both speak Spanish. She's like, what are you talking about?
But big fan of that. If you haven't watched it yet, go
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, go watch the segment. It was so well done. Yeah, it was executed. It was like beautiful chaos. Because we all know how these shows go. Like for everything to go perfectly like that takes a lot. And so they didn't even know he was going to show up.
Yeah,
so
Beef Loaf was like, I was like at 4% that you were going to come up.
So like it's a really good segment. Even if you're a Cubs fan, I strongly advise you to go watch it. It's really cool. Does do a fantastic breakdown of the White Sox too. Like the spending.
The hair is still on point.
It actually made me feel better about the upcoming season. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's a pretty tall mountain to climb these days, but that actually got me more excited. So yeah, 108 Days this Saturday. If you're gonna be there, come say hello. Buy me a Busch Light. I'm gonna be fucked up.
Get an autograph.
Get an autograph.
Oh man, I gotta take one of those like, when you drink those things before you drink, so you don't get hungover. Do those things actually work?
Oh, the emergencies or whatever.
Or whatever they're called.
I'll
tell you what.
It's a placebo effect.
I learned a big lesson on New Year's Eve that 2-year-olds do not give a flying fuck if you're hungover. Holy shit, New Year's Day was brutal. Oh yeah, I drank a whole bottle of bourbon, and there was others. And he stayed at my parents' house, and they're like, "Are you gonna come get him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. Just hold on a minute." And, yeah.
Nah, dude, I was acting a fool, staying up until like 6 a.m, thinking I was still like a 21-year-old in college.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Jesus. We were laying in bed when the clock struck midnight.
At my own home, but it was still like, I looked at the time, it was 4:30, just mid-conversation. I'm like, I am wide awake right now.
We were in bed at 12. Carrie wanted to do it at night. We went to the Golden Knights game earlier at noon, so that was like, we kind of blew our load a little bit early. But I'm like, can you at least stay up till midnight just for a midnight kiss? Sure. 12:01 kiss. Eye mask on. She's asleep. Fuck, done. So I went out to the living room and played Madden until like 2:30 in the morning. So
yeah, we got home probably about, I don't even remember. We got home at like 2 a.m, and then for the first time in like probably 15 years, I puked.
Oh,
yeah.
that far.
You know what it was? It was the champagne at midnight.
Ooh.
The bubbles.
There you go.
That was just a bad.
I hear you're
move.
not supposed to go dark with alcohol to light.
I'm just not a champagne guy.
I'm with you, Zoe. I don't do champagne. I did wine for the toast.
but I was drunk. It was midnight. They were passing it out. I took it and I didn't even sip it. Like I just down the hatch and we got out of the Uber and I looked at my
Three of
wife and I
those.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna need the bathroom for a little bit. Just took a knee. Just
Champagne
T-bow
gives
right.
me heartburn sometimes. It doesn't make me
Chicken-
nauseous, but I'll get heartburn.
Took a T-bow right at the toilet there and just let it all out. Actually, probably helped. Probably helped in my favor
Oh, puke and rally, bro.
the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, I puked and passed out. I was out cold.
You didn't pass out in the bathroom though. You didn't
Oh,
do that
no,
thing
no,
like
no,
where
no,
you're
no,
like
no,
hugging
no,
it and
no,
someone's
no,
got the
no.
broom and they're like, "You'll
It
be
wasn't.
okay."
It wasn't complete amateur hour. I got up.
He's a seasoned vet at this point.
Yeah, I got
What,
up and
what,
changed.
what was your
and-
guys's fake hangover cure back in the day?
burritos or Slurpees or
Cocaine.
both.
Oh wait, sorry.
We're throwing it out there.
All right.
White Castle always. White Castle or Steak and Shake. Just give me.
Burritos, Slurpees, 6-inch Binger. Yeah, that would.
I remember I would
6
just
foot.
pop in 2 Advils, chug a Mountain Dew, pass out, wake up, no headache.
You know,
was
we
a-
were in this kick one time for a little bit where it was take a multivitamin before you drink and a multivitamin before you go to bed after drinking with a large glass of water. That I don't know if it was placebo effect. Sometimes the multivitamin will make you puke. Sometimes those things just make you puke. I don't know, but I think that probably was the closest thing I had where I felt like it actually worked. And then ramen works too. Ramen's pretty good. Just get that head.
I am a big advocate of 4 Advil before you go to bed if you've been drinking,
Yes.
because you do wake up pretty good. I mean, I pretty much only drink Busch Light and bourbon at this point, so like I usually can gauge where I'm at. But yeah, 4 Advil and a nice glass of water. And yeah.
Sorry. I
Um,
can't do the stomach.
Oh, y'all made a good
You
point.
don't like that stomach lining, Kevin?
Oh god, it's like chewing on sponge. I'll just take a Fideo. It's okay. I know, like
You ever
people
had
like,
Menudo, Mitch?
oh,
I have
thought-
not.
I only know Menudo as the '80s boy band.
Ooh, what a show!
it's I mean it's good. I mean the
Respect,
broth.
though.
I'll do Menudo with like something like as opposed
Time
to the
out. Back
stomach.
it up. What is it?
It's also go ahead.
I mean, it's just like this thick porridge soup that's made up of it's cow, right? Like cow stomach lining.
Cow stomach lining is like the protein. Yeah,
That's the protein in
What's
it.
it taste
a freaking
like?
sponge.
It's like I mean, it's all right. It's
Mitch,
spicy.
your gringo ass looks like you're gonna throw up
It's
right
what?
now just hearing
It's
about it.
spicy. It
Red
probably
chili,
stays in your
hominy,
system for a
Burning
month.
stomach is where I draw the line there.
Red chili, hominy, lime, onions, and oregano, basically.
Stripe and corn with a spicy pepper broth. Oh, spicy kills me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, it's
very
just like a
Caucasian
thick
when it comes
broth.
to spicy.
But you could change out the stomach too. You don't have to have the stomach. I know that.
As I get older, I get even more super Caucasian when it comes to spicy.
Right. It's just gross.
So I gotta
It's really like, I mean, honestly, it's the thing. Like the thing that cures the hangover in that is just like the spices.
yeah, I get it.
Spices are great. That's why I love ramen, dude. You give me a spicy level 9 ramen on a hangover. I'll just bury my face and just
And
cover
then
my mouth and I'll shit a lot.
one more thing that I do want to throw in there, mainly just because he's my homie. Beef has ventured out to do his own solo show. It's on Mondays. I watched it's called the Ajou. I watched the initial episode. It's cool. I like what he did with that. I was nervous to see where he was going to go with it, branching out and like I wasn't scared. I wasn't worried that he would do a good job. I knew he'd do a good job. What I was worried was it would just be like the 108 light. You know what I mean? Like,
and he really brought in a diverse first guest too. He really stretched
hey
out.
man, you got to get that comfort guest your first episode. He had his brother on for those that don't know, but
Sure he did.
no, I like it. It's different enough from the 108 show where they're gonna live like nicely together, but like it's good. You guys check out. It's more in-depth baseball talk.
And I do have to ask, Beef, is Ajou named after the water in your Sunday soak hot tub? Because that's really the Ajou that we're all looking for.
Ooh,
It's golden deliciousness.
It's
do you
not
guys
after.
really want? Do you guys really want to go into depth on Eric Hosmer? I think we got it.
Beefloaf didn't name it after Ryan Braun? Is you?
Ajou.
All right. Sorry about that. All right, go ahead, Kevin. Yeah, we get into it a little bit. It's fine. I have gotten over my little Eric Hosmer hissy fit.
I mean, it's not.
It's so weird not being the
Is
one.
he the starting first
angry
baseman
and
for the
pissy and-
Cubs opening day?
Right now, you
Yeah.
can pencil him in as the starting first baseman.
And you know they're gonna be like, we got a former All-Star at first base.
I love.
Not only that, Mitch,
that's seriously
former
my new.
World Series champion to you.
That is my new favorite thing about baseball offseason is when they sign a guy, the way they spin the signing. It is
I know, hand up.
It
Hey.
is phenomenal.
If there's one thing I learned in sports marketer, you gotta lead the people to what they love. What do they
Yep.
love? They love winners.
I love winners.
It's true.
I
True.
love
You
it.
know, and it's he's getting $700,000 a year for this. Like if he sucks, it's like a drop in the bucket
Right.
cut. You're
It's
fine.
a
Like,
minimum,
it's-
dude.
that's the best. It's the single biggest positive about it is that it's a low risk, potentially mediocre to average, maybe a little bit above average, slightly, ceiling. And so, to me, and we've talked about it on here a million times too, Aldo, and I'm sure you'll agree. More than anything else, the Cubs needed to find something to protect and insulate Matt Mervis during his rookie season because it would have been bullshit to roll that kid out there in his rookie season and expect him to just be the dude that he was this year, especially as a minor leaguer, dropping 40 plus homers. Now he can just simply say, look, if I don't figure it out, I can go take a cup of coffee back down, figure it out, get my swing back. There's no pressure on the kid to go out there and be like something else. They can ease him in there. He can dip his toe in before he gets, does a cannonball into the deep end. And so we've talked, just like protecting Andrew Vaughn, of the things that La Russa did poorly, I think how he protected Andrew Vaughn was genius and it was perfect. I thought that was the best thing he did probably in his time. And I think the same thing, you've got to protect
you
these
just
guys.
reminded me of something.
And so I think this gives Mervis that protection. And Hosmer, ironically, hits lefties well. And he's a guy that really struggled against the shift. So I know he's more of a left-handed madrigal almost. He's probably going to hit maybe like 6 to 8 homers. But the guy's a veteran. He's going to help Mervis become a professional. And again, contrary to what some meatheads from San Diego like to pretend because he wasn't their best friend, he's a good clubhouse guy.
Yeah, I was about to say
Marcus Stroman jumped to his defense today because Marcus played with him in the World Baseball Classic. He's also a World Baseball Classic.
That was kind of dope. That was kind of dope to see. You gotta love, as a Cubs fan, you gotta like seeing that.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll be good in the clubhouse. He won't be a problem. It's called what it is. It's still a rebuild year. The Cubs aren't, unless they catch a 24 pack of lightning in a bottle, they're not winning anything other than, again, that'd be a lot of lightning just to win the division. This is good. This is a transition. If Jed had always said this was a rebuild, this would be an acceptable, for the most part, progression into 2024 when the Cubs, now we've said this, should contend in 2024 no matter what because of the prospects and whatnot. So it's a low risk. And you know what? I just love that it really pisses off some people on Cubs Twitter though. Oh, there's some on Twitter suffering.
This is year 6 now of doing this show. In the 6 years we've been doing the show, that is the most we've ever talked about vet minimum contract.
There you go.
It's not that big of a deal.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Overseeing Patrick Wisdom every day. Patrick Wisdom now can sit back and hit lefties, which he does rake against lefties. I will actually start to endear myself to Wisdom, or he'll endear himself to me, I guess, against lefties because he does. He hits lefties fucking well.
And also, the biggest thing to me, and Fidge, you just touched on it, is it takes pressure off of Mervis.
Yep.
The big picture is, though, it robbed us of Trey Mancini with the Cubs, which would have been a whole lot of fun this next year. Then I would have had 2 guys that I'm at, like the Nick Madrigal is
Mitch
the first
could have seen his favorite first baseman.
And Trey Mancini would have been the second.
Yeah. Billy Donovan, Bulls head coach.
Honestly, I think we talked about. I mean, you brought it up in the chat when we were talking about it on Tuesday, Kevin. The issue isn't so much Eric Hosmer; it's that the point is that the Cubs reached the point where like they signed Eric Hosmer as the insurance for Matt Mervis. Because think of the Cubs overall roster. Think of the moves they've made. They're taking some gambles on Bellinger. They're hoping that Dansby Swanson's year wasn't a fluke. They're moving Nico over to second, so second base theoretically improved. But think about if they did go. Let's say they did overspend or whatever on Jose Abreu. Look how much better that situation would be at first base.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like I obviously. And the other thing, like with Hosmer, like I've told you guys, it's like I don't want a first baseman DH guy being like a 270 slap hitter. Like
Right.
that's my big. Like that's mainly.
I get that. I get that.
I just don't care as long as it fits in the construct of the lineup. Like if you've got a big bopper that's at a traditionally non-big bopper position, then it kind of balances
But like
out
that's
anyway.
the thing. The
It really
Cubs don't
isn't.
really have a lot of big boppers anyway.
No, there aren't.
that's
That's
the
a lot
other
of
issue.
Ross is going to be like bunt. He'll be like,
I
Like
think it goes.
Dansby Swanson right now is the big bopper.
Yeah.
Although I did see somebody said they think that Seiya is going to hit 40 home runs this year. I'm like, geez, oh Pete, put the crack.
Yeah, I think Seiya. I mean, depending on the ball, Seiya definitely should hit
Whoa.
over 20.
Okay, over 20 is fine, but 40 is.
40.
No, he's not hitting. I don't
math.
even think he hit that
Fitz,
many. in
find me
Japan.
that tweet. I want to make a bet with that guy.
Actually, you know what? If they get the 2019 balls, if they get the 2019 balls back, maybe
He
because people are
could.
hitting like fucking home runs on.
I think
ball,
Seiya has a
on
good year.
pop-ups.
I think Seiya has a good year because now he understands a little bit more about the MLB game and stuff like that. I think, and he's healthy. But 40 home
Yeah,
runs.
if he's healthy, if says
That
if
is
he's
a
completely healthy in
tall order.
2023, he has definite all-star potential because he had the great period and then the period where he was getting dominated and then he readjusted and then they readjusted back and then he readjusted a third time.
Which is interesting
So
you
he's
say that
shown the ability to do that.
because that's going to happen to Oscar Colas.
Yeah.
So people need to prepare for that. Like, this is a thing that happens
Right.
normally.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Going back to Hosmer, I almost think it shows they have a little bit of confidence in Mervis there because they didn't think he was going to be a sufficient first baseman. Don't you think they go out and get like a Jose Brady? I think they
Yeah, that's been kind of the debate of like, well, does this mean that they do have confidence in him, or does because like he's a lefty bat, so they're like, oh well, like they're doing it because they don't expect Mervis to be the guy right away, so
Which
they
he
just kind of
shouldn't. I
want
don't think he
Hosmer
will
at
be
maybe
either.
first.
that's why it's kind of a perfect insurance because you're not expecting much from him long term. Yeah, well, he doesn't have to play a whole lot, but at least it's something.
Right.
That-
What it is, and like Kevin said it the last week and a half when we've talked about it. He like Eric Hosmer. He's the Cubs are getting back to like average at first base.
Yep.
Like they're gonna get
race
like
to 80
average
wins,
production.
dude. Race to 80 wins.
Race to 81.
The Cubs and the Red Sox.
Better base. But what was it? Damn.
Better bad baseball
The
team.
better bad
Oh.
baseball team, Chicago.
And that thing that you reminded me of, Fids, is on the Azul on
Jus.
Monday.
Sandy
Beef.
Koufax.
Beef has Josh Nelson on, and they're just going to talk shit about Andrew Vaughn. So you should definitely be in the comments for that episode.
They should have Kevin on camera like in the corner, but like he's muted, but all you see is
Yeah, it's just
Seriously.
Kevin just doing this like.
it's like Kevin, why is your lighting red? And it's just his face.
No, it's just
Like,
his face. That would actually be hilarious. Like Fids cam. He
yeah.
just has to sit there on mute, like, my good. Yeah, just that would be fucking hilarious, dude. What else is going on in baseball?
I mean, if we're talking about just contact the slap hitting first base. No, I'm just
No, I think Vaughn will have it. I actually, like I said,
Andrew Vaughn over home runs in 2023. Bet it.
well, what's it at right now? Like, what do you think that number's going to be?
I haven't seen.
They haven't put those lines out yet.
I think no. Like I'm gonna bet as many overs on home runs just because.
You think they're going to the old ball?
Not even the old ball, just like not last year.
I agree. Okay,
Like
that I
no
agree
one
with.
was hitting home runs. It was basically Aaron Judge
Right.
and like what, like Schwarber.
And they got what they wanted. They got a historical season out of it.
Yeah.
Huge ratings boost, and then they got big home runs when they wanted. Like the home runs that the Astros hit throughout their playoff run.
Well, yeah, that's when they started using him again in the
Right.
playoffs.
So
I was about to say, I think 25 is good. I think 25 is a fair 23, 25. I feel like he's going to hit righties better this year than he did last year. He's going to make that
Yeah.
adjustment. So
Yeah.
before Beef put that in the comments, I was going to say 24. That was the number I had
There you
in
go.
my head.
I'll go with 25 just because I love the guy.
Yeah. I'd love a 25 home run season from Vaughn. Sign me up for that shit. The other baseball news, apparently
50% improvement.
a couple sauces on Twitter have been saying that the Dodgers are going to make their decision official tomorrow about Trevor Bell.
You guys gonna sign him? Some.
No,
I hope not.
I could see him as a Yankee though,
Put it right in there.
but he would eat it up.
Man.
Like
Oh yeah.
a lot of other players, especially with that baggage, would get absolutely demolished in the New York media. Bauer would thrive.
Oh yeah.
I could see him as a Yankee.
Angel.
Like, I like how the Angels and the Rockies.
The Angels are just
that's
no.
like
It's specifically the Angels though, because the Angels like will spend. Well, the Rockies too. You're right.
the Mets have no more money. Sorry, Umper. They just. They
Nah, I
can't-
mean the Mets
they
could sign
can't
who
afford
they
him.
could. Steve Cohen doesn't care. Oh, by the way, Kevin, have you read up? I know you. I think you talked a little about it on Twitter. But like, have they said what that Correa deal is going to look like now?
Oh,
That's
that was
it's
one of
just gonna be
the
a.
questions from our users. Is what the fuck is going on with?
It'll be
Correa?
less years and a high, like a 40 AAV. You're gonna get like
Yeah.
an
Oh,
8-year,
man.
40 million contract instead of a 12-year, 310 million. Yeah. So it's that's the whole point of stretching this shit out. So now the team that takes them is gonna have to take a massive cap hit up front, unless they're just like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna stretch it out and just get the value.
And he just put up. We all know Instagram is the ultimate tool, but he put up that thing with him and his kid, and it said like,
Going to work.
"Dad's going to work," and the kid had like
Yeah.
an "I love New York" shirt on, and like,
Yeah.
I
cute
love
kid.
the troll. I love the troll. Somebody did a troll of they did it for Frank the Tank, the super Mets fan.
Yeah,
And they put like a Braves logo on the shirt.
that would be fucking. That's hilarious. That's actually really, really funny. That's really, really good.
Like all the tweet was that Photoshop, that picture Photoshopped. It was like, did you see this?
Uh,
I got a question, Aldo. This is literally like fan fiction here.
Okay.
Cubs go fuck it. They 4-year deal Correa, $40 million a year with
Yes.
opt-outs at the end. What does that do if they were to add him as a third baseman to this Cubs lineup? What does that do to your opinion? Would they be there, I guess, in your opinion?
That would in my eyes automatically elevate them to I am expecting the season that they will be a playoff team.
Okay. I like that.
That's
I'm.
yeah.
I would bet me going on live watching a full NASCAR race sober that Carlos Correa will be a Met this year.
So wait, repeat
I like
that again?
Wait, say that again so we can
Yeah,
clip this.
hold on.
And when he signs with the Cubs next week,
I will bet I will go on Twitter Live, watch a full NASCAR race, start to finish, green flag to checker flag.
We're gonna make it a pull of 600 too. 'cause I
Can we,
do like a
can we
6
talk
hour
about
race.
how I just got the flag colors right? Because yeah, suck it.
He's really,
But
proud of
Carlos-
he's really, really, really proud of himself. Right.
But I will watch the full race, dead sober, live on Twitter if Carlos Correa signs with any other team besides the Mets.
Mitch, do they have like day-long delays because of rain?
Yes.
Oh,
Daytona this year
I hope it's
was like a 4-hour delay, and like half the drivers that wrecked left and watched the end of the race on television. They like flew back because like it took so long for the delay.
If they're not racing, I don't need to be on live.
You
I
will rue the day
what we'll
that
have
you
them
didn't
do
take
is
the
the
tattoo
Coca-Cola
bet.
600 because it's 600 miles. It's the longest race of the year. So delay or no delay, that's a
That's
long
how-
one to sit through.
That's how confident he's not. There's no way Cohen's letting him not be a Met.
Yeah, no, he.
I really hope he's not now. I really want to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
Someone
have.
will enjoy it though. It'll be fun. Now he's got some NASCAR knowledge from all these NASCAR minutes
Oh, I'm
accumulated.
definitely betting on it.
Oh yeah,
100%. I'm going to bet on it.
I'll tell you who to bet on.
I know, and we'll have that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But
I mean, if after that it'd be Zoe's NASCAR minute.
Yeah,
Yep,
there you go.
I-
I was telling everyone that who would listen to bet on Joey Logano for the championship right before that.
I didn't get that.
My buddy went
We got
to
a short. we got a
Maybe
short.
my phone blocked you or something. I didn't get that. I don't know. That was weird. I didn't get that.
You're
one.
probably too
But
busy putting up the Andrew Vaughn like piece of.
that's probably it. But I am curious as to what you guys think. Where do you think Trevor Bauer is going to land?
The Shanghai Tiger.
Oh, he's on an MLB
That
team.
Shaq meme learn Chinese.
Yeah, that's Ben on White Sox Twitter.
Yeah.
He does that one, dude. That dude kills me. He's
Every time.
He is one of my secret funniest follows on Twitter. That kid fucking cracks me up.
Well,
Chi-Town
didn't you
Ben.
say he'd be on your softball team, right?
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious too.
I
though.
remember.
But he does that Shaq meme where
Yeah.
zing how, zing how. It's fucking hilarious. He used to do it for Dallas Keuchel every time he pitched. It was the best.
Oh man.
It was the
Huang Dong. Yeah.
Ooh, how about there? Arizona, the Diamondbacks.
or the Mexican League with Edison Russell.
No.
That's called the California Penal
But,
League.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough sell signing him though. If the Dodgers release him,
Well, they're making their official decision because if they let him go, they still owe him 32 mil.
By the
But-
way,
Yeah.
did you
then I would
see?
find it hard to believe another team is gonna
But
pick him up.
if I'm Bauer, I hope the Dodgers release me because then you get paid your 32 mil and you can leave California so you don't have to pay that tax.
That's true.
Right.
I just don't think another team it was like kind of with Yasiel Puig once that old baggage came out. Now, mind you, his production kind of sucked near the end there too. But I don't know.
And that's the other thing. Everybody assumes you're going to get the Cy Young runner-up version of Trevor Bauer. I mean, he hasn't faced Major League hitting. I know he puts up 10 videos a day of him pitching to the king of JUCO, but it's like it's a little different when you're facing Aaron Judge. You know what I mean? In Yankee Stadium, it's
Right.
Unless they're on the same team, which I actually think is going to happen. But yeah,
Are you going to put up the Vince McMahon video the first time he pitches?
I just hope he lands with an MLB team just for the memes. This is going to be great.
I mean, I don't think the Yankees would do it. I don't think they want that pub because they're trying to win. I know it sounds crazy because it's New York. They're used to the circus.
Yeah, you know
but-
what else I could see happening?
To bring on.
Because we do have our hideaway camps, and I could see him going to the Rockies for a 1 year, $10 million just to show the baseball that he still has it.
Oh man, I mean that's the last place I'd go if I was a
Actually, I
pitcher.
think the
Right.
Angels
Well, I'm just what I'm
make a lot of
saying.
sense because no one watches these Angel games around at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock
Actually,
at night.
Wait, I think I have a team. Well, it depends how much they want to spend because I heard I saw.
I just don't see him going to the KBO or the Mexican leagues. I just
The
don't see him-
Padres.
Mhm.
Padres need starting pitching.
For cheap too, because I can.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could totally see him being all right, I'm getting this 32 million from the Dodgers, so I'm good financially. I'll sign a 1 year, $12 million deal with the Padres to show everyone I still got the goods in the major league level, and then after this season, go sign the big money deal.
There's just so much baggage.
There's
Oh,
I mean I'm kind
I
of
know, no, I get it.
Much.
I get it, and I think he's please know that I think he's a complete fucking asshole. I can't stress that enough. But if there was any time a player that could handle everything that's going to come at him because of all that shit, it's Trevor Bauer.
just keep the drones away. But yeah,
Keep the drones and pretty much women and everything away from him. I know he's not worth. People say I get it. He's not worth the baggage, but he's
that's the thing, guys.
It's just how
think
much
of it from a business side of it.
we
how
talk
much
about
is
this all the
that?
time.
In sports.
That's the business side of it. Think of how many people are going to boycott. You're talking about San Diego and a guy that's been accused of what he's been accused of. That's San Diego. That when you get outward, when you start getting a little bit west of San Diego, yeah, those dudes will throw on their Fox Racing hat and fucking love them. But the people in San Diego in that town are not going to embrace.
I mean, you see this
That's a good
with
point.
all sports and athletes. Boys will be boys if you're hitting 40 home runs or striking out over 200 a year. He's performing, they'll quickly forget about it.
Unfortunately, as much as we're dude's a dickhead asshole, probably scumbag behind whatever that's all been. Some team is going to be well, if you can still give me a 3 ERA and 25 starts, yeah, we're going to pay you.
Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Because Marcell Ozuna is still with the Braves, is he not?
Yep,
And that dude was on camera.
he's a huge piece of shit.
Aroldis Chapman had his package.
Chapman, another
Chapman.
huge piece of shit. I mean, we could probably
Yeah.
fill an hour show of
Yeah.
just listing off huge pieces of shit that still got paid.
Yeah.
And I think
What's his name in Atlanta, right?
and Trevor Bauer is going to
Yeah,
be the next one on that list. Someone will pay it. If he can pitch like he pitched before all this shit happened, someone will pay him. And Yumper, that's a good point. We haven't seen him since the sticky stuff ban,
It's true.
so we don't know.
Which
what
would be the most hilarious
with Trevor
self-promo
Bauer. Yes,
that the guy
yes,
who complained the most, and hey, shout out to him. He was right.
he was right.
He was right, but he was also doing it.
Yo, big time. And again, I cannot stress this enough. He's a complete fucking douchebag.
I mean, Sox do need some starter depth.
No, never.
You guys
I-
are competing.
I do not want
You
him on the
need
White
to win
Sox.
now.
I do
David
League
not.
minimum,
season.
veteran minimum. He's already making his money. $700K.
They won't.
You don't know
do
if Kopech's going to go 130 innings.
They won't do it.
No shot. Yeah.
No shot.
No shot.
And I guarantee you, there is podcasts for every team in
Yeah.
baseball that is like us that are all saying that right now. Like, no, my team would never do that.
Reinsdorf, though, has like the beard length limits. I find it hard to believe.
I just don't think they want. I don't think they think the juice is worth the squeeze there.
That's bad for
Okay.
business. You have Trevor
Like
Bauer.
with the
Trevor Bauer.
Rangers.
There you go.
Would the Rangers do it? Just keep adding more pitching?
Mm,
Fitting in Texas.
Texas would be, St. Louis. St. Louis would. That's a good fit for Trevor
No
Bauer.
way they wouldn't allow for a wife beater on.
Dude, the Cardinals fan, like I'm said in the comments right now, the Cardinals fans are pining for him on Twitter. Cardinals fans are really want this.
Well, they're delusional. They don't know good pizza. Their city sucks. I mean,
Well, I mean, the
No,
city
man,
sucks.
light them up. Light them up.
But that's why a massive douche canoe would fit in perfectly in St. Louis.
yeah, him and Wilson Contreras. That would be quite the battery they got there.
Oh my god, I got a headache just thinking about that.
God. He's doing the sword, and Contreras is like
Oh.
flipping shit. Oh my
I
god!
forgot.
Yeah, like
about
I
his
can't,
sword.
like I can't.
Oh.
Right, I'm trying to figure out like would a competing team take on the chance, or would like a bad team who's trying to like build them up for trade value take the chance?
Go back
What
to
would be more
Cincinnati.
likely? Yeah, like back to Cincinnati.
Why would he go back to Cincinnati? They're just trying to tank.
I'm just trying to think of shitty teams that would give him a chance just because.
Diamondbacks.
For another hype.
Yeah,
video.
I was thinking the Diamondbacks too, Kevin, because they're always kind of out
I
there.
mean, Arizona's
trying
pretty
to-
much the Florida of the West, so it's
Pittsburgh.
Let me tell you, folks.
They had the Vinny Velo hype video. Just wait for the
To
Trevor
the
Bauer. He's gonna be a hit in Pittsburgh.
Did Rich Hill get a hype video?
you out this season. Let's go.
Rich Hill deserves a hype video from the Pirates if he hasn't gotten one.
Aye,
If
he's-
Vinny Velo can get one.
Rich Hill should get like one, but it should be done like in like a 1920s frame rate, like when he first started his career.
All his video grainy black and white, even though it's from 2007.
Low def.
Wasn't he pitching during the AJ Przinsky like
Starting
collision play?
pitcher.
He was the starter. That yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's apparently though. We'll know tomorrow if he's because the Dodgers could easily be like, hey, we're going, we're keeping him, we owe him this money anyways. Might as well put him to work for it.
I guess.
I don't even.
I don't know,
it's-
man.
It should be entertaining. Either-
Bob was
whatever-
pretty quick
however
on
it
that
works out.
in that release when that came out.
Oh yeah, oh he's Captain PR. He's got his socials buzzing on the
His video when he signed with the Dodgers was really cringy.
Yeah.
everything he does is cringy.
Yeah.
He's
Through it,
just
I was like,
cringe in general.
He is just
The brand.
He is just a long line of cringe. Like the guy just sucks.
The one thing that I did love about his video that he did when he signed with the Dodgers is that I got to edit it and add the Chris Bryant home run in the World Series.
That
Like
was
at the end, 'cause,
yeah.
like he throws a pitch. I was like,
That was
long
good.
pull.
I forgot about that. That was good.
That was so long ago. Was that before? No, that was.
I
after
remember
20?
it just because, like, as a White Sox fan, we're like, "Oh, he'd be a great fit in the rotation."
hmm
And they were in the running too. They had the Photoshop of. He had like a video where he's talking about like Photoshops of White Sox jerseys on him.
Yeah, no, the White Sox were definitely in play, and I think a lot of that too was because we saw him so much in Cleveland.
We had a seat at the table for Trevor,
course.
but we
Also,
were detecting his social habits, and we didn't think he was a good fit here on the South Side.
don't underestimate the.
The prognosticators were right on his treatment of women, and Jerry didn't want that because it's bad for business.
Jerry's all about
prefers
that
missionary
prime-
position only.
Yeah, Jerry's all about that prime muff, and we're not trying to scare away the women folk.
Save the bush. I think too, you got to take into consideration not just the fan base, but the clubhouse. Like some of these guys truly won't play with. I mean, you've got to have a dynamic where there's so many different people you have to make this decision work for. And that's what I think makes it such a difficult. That's why it makes it so interesting, though, too. Like, I mean, again, depends on your. I mean, you're going to have some guys in the clubhouse that are going to be like, I don't give a shit. And you got guys in the clubhouse that are like, I'm not setting foot in the club. I mean, who is it? Which members of the team are they more valuable than I'm curious to see how detached teams are with emotion.
I can see a team. You know who would do it? Who I can see who's like kind of out of the blue, but like they're just so analytically based. Like they treat these guys just like
Oakland?
they're not they're not human beings. They're just numbers on a fucking sheet of paper. The Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays would be like, well, this guy's doing this. Well, no one comes to our fucking games anyway.
Yeah.
What about Oakland too? Oakland he's
No,
cheap.
they're not.
So
cheap.
funny.
They don't
Well,
pay their
too
own
much.
good play.
The other side of the Bay Bridge. If you take the Bay Bridge, it's very different. Raiders fans are they're
would
defending
be-
John Gruden still. So
Tampa makes a lot of sense though, because back to what I was saying about taking the Dodgers 32 mil, no tax in Florida, man.
No tax.
Yeah, it's mostly just swampland and old people down there, so wouldn't have to worry about him getting in trouble as long as he stays away from Miami.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna catch heat.
Him
every
and
time-
Tom
every
Brady
road
go
game.
out clubbing.
Bauer's just gonna hang out in Cocoa Beach.
No.
I'm not gonna go anywhere near Miami. He's Fort Pierce for Bauer.
The Rays actually make sense in my head. The Rays make sense. We do got one user submitted question for tonight. People
Two,
got
I
a little-
submitted one. I guess no one wants to talk about that one.
no. We did talk about baseball though.
That I guess that counts. One of my two got discussed.
And then a friend of the show, Svosa, asked, what changes do we want to see in MLB, the next MLB game? MLB 23 or 24?
I think it'd be 24. Yeah.
24, yeah, 24.
Well, Zoe, do you have 23?
I don't know what the number is on the fucking game.
I'm the one with Tatis. I haven't played that one in over a year.
I did get a PS5. Side note, guys, got a PS5 on the 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve. That literally was delivered by Saturday.
Yeah, so it's going to be
Yeah.
MLB 23 because this last one is 22.
Oh,
So yeah, it'll be 23.
oh,
so
that's
MLB
right.
23.
They have it come out right in the spring.
Yeah, it comes out right in
Yeah.
February, March.
Yeah.
Did they already announce who's on the cover?
Tim
Not
Anderson
yet.
on the cover.
A lot of people think it's going to be my boy in Seattle,
J-Rod?
J-Rod.
Trout, Kershaw, Vlad.
No, it'll be J-Rod, I think. They love him in that game. Aaron Judge has already been on a cover, so it won't be him.
Get Tim Anderson, the swag master.
Dansby Swanson.
They do love Jazz, too.
They're not putting Jazz on the cover.
They love Jazz.
Carlos Correa's shin.
Right now, does Carlos Correa without a jersey? Just
That's where my love of Jazz to the White Sox started, was because they made him he's one of those like souped up cards in that game.
Yeah.
He's so good at that game. But I think it'll be J-Rod. Some of the things I want to see, bring back more of a story mode in Road to the Show. Like the story mode part of the game, like it got really just like, you sign here, okay, here are your goals, and then you just play games. Like there's no story to go along with it. Like it used to be like really in depth. Like there was like
more
your friend,
interactive.
and all, yeah, like, and
Do
you
you
had to make
This motorcycle ride during the off season.
right, yeah, like you hung out with Fernando Tatis and you got on his motorcycle.
It's like, oh wow, you've been suspended 600 games for off-field transgressions.
But like, so stuff like that, I think it'd be cool. I mean the drum that everybody beats every year for the show for the last probably 5 years is to make franchise mode better. It is super generic right now. It kind of sucks.
Did you mention Julio Rodriguez as a possible?
Yeah, J-Rod.
Yeah, Jared. Oh, you that.
Yeah.
Duh.
So I wanted to ask you. So like, what? I think we asked Healy when we had him on last year.
He's hanging out in the comments too.
What specifically would you change the franchise mode?
It's just this year they try to make it better, but it's like very scatterbrained. Like when I was trying to do those sims for like
Yeah.
all that stuff, it's just I don't know, like too many things are all over the place and it's not as smooth. Like when I say smooth, I want it like yeah, like Healy's. But just like remember like the old days of like Madden franchise mode. Like,
Yes.
It's pretty simple. Like just boom, boom, do this, do that, cut this guy, sign this guy, do that. Like just keep it simple like that. And yeah, this game, MLB 22, was not received very well. Another thing that I play mostly Diamond Dynasty. Like I don't play online against people because people suck. But
Come
I
on,
I
I'm
like
right
playing.
here, though. We're right here. Kevin and me are right here.
You guys didn't get it this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
There was no
I mean,
lockout to make you
Who
guys
can
play.
forget the first time I ever played the game ever in any way, shape, or form? Fucking
Yeah.
gave me the slaughter rule is that. I mean, that was you put it in and broke it off sideways.
But one of the things that I think they did weird this year was they released a ton of like really good cards right away. So like everybody had like juice teams like a month into the season. Make people earn it a little bit more. You know, they got like the showdowns and the quest maps and all that shit. Like, and also get new fucking legends, dude. It's the same people every year.
I mean, well, there's no new legends to add, are there? I mean,
No, all they got to do though, Fitz, it's not. They don't get to just decide like, oh, we want this dude in the game. They got to get the player's likeness.
I was gonna
And
say
they
I
gotta
think
get, like,
that has to do with like paying them,
Yeah, and all that shit. But they just need to get some different fucking legends, man. Like the big one this year was the big one that the big one this year was Randy Johnson. He was the big get this year, and it was a great card. It was fucking annoying how good it was, but just more shit like that, dude. Like go out and get better, like new guys, new legends. And I only play it on PS5, but what Healy's saying, this has been a huge complaint from a lot of people, is they're catering just to the PS, Xbox people. They try to do the whole cross-play thing. Like if you had a Switch, I can play you
Yeah.
on my PS5 and all that shit. Like I don't know, man. Like there's a lot that they could fix, but my biggest thing, 100%, is get new player likeness or player rights.
Biscuit pants.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
get
gotta get
biscuit
biscuit
pants. Go get fucking, like, people really want Derek Jeter. There was a rumor that he was going to be in this year's game, but he wasn't. But like, go get
They should-
A-Rod. Go get
they
Barry
should troll
Bonds.
him.
Go get, like, there's so many. Go get Pete Rose. There's so many cool players. I guarantee you offer Pete Rose some money, he'll let you put him in the game.
Commit 4 errors in a game, get Derek Jeter unlocked.
But like, I know Bonds has always not been in baseball games. Remember John Dowd
Yeah.
in the old MVP games? So I know Bonds would be a tough get, but like, how awesome would that be, dude? Go get Barry Bonds. Go get
Oh, you're never gonna get Bonds though,
go get A-Rod. Like,
especially after he was blackballed.
right. I know, but I'm just those. That's what I'm saying though. Like they use it's the same guys every year. Man, Pete Rose is banned, but they might let him back in soon. Did you see him place the first bet in Ohio sports betting? And he took the he bet the Reds to win the World Series.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he bet on the Reds.
Yep, he did. He bet the Reds. They didn't say the amount though. He probably put like 50 cents on it. But just get new players. That's my biggest thing. It's the same. Cal Ripken Jr. Cool. Vlad Guerrero. I love the Vlad Guerrero cards. It's Babe Ruth. Who's the other old timey guy that they always have that plays like every position? It's not Ty Cobb.
Oh no, never mind.
Honus Wagner. They have him every year. Like
they need to add Max Patkin to the game. The Clown Prince of Baseball.
Go get some other guys, dude.
That'd be cool.
Dude,
Really
expand international.
Eddie Gandil, you could play like as Eddie Gandil, like a 4 foot, like a 3 foot, like little guy.
Is that? Oh, that's the little guy.
Yeah, is it Eddie Gandil? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Get the Mexican league so you can still play as Addison Russell.
One thing I do like is I like playing in people's created stadiums.
I've seen a couple of the videos where the guy makes the like the inverse.
I couldn't agree more, Healy. Absolutely, that's a great list. Jermaine Diaz, Chavez, Zito, Lincecum. Everybody wants Lincecum. The Lincecum card has been something people have been pining for a long time. Carlos, Derek Lee, Tim Hudson, just guys like that. I'm sure these guys, if you just like put in some effort, you can get that likeness.
Oh, we got to start a GoFundMe.
Guys, well, once we sponsor the Crosstown
We got to
Cup,
get the sponsorship first.
we'll get that going.
The leftover money.
I think we just plan how to take over the world here. It all starts with the Crosstown Cup.
We're on to something.
Kevin, how would you change the gameplay?
I would make hitting not the worst fucking thing in the world. I can pitch just fine. I can't hit at all. It's like playing with my career on Tiger Woods right now. I cannot figure out how to hit the ball.
Is that game any good?
With the downswing. Yeah, it's great when you're playing with the pros. But shit, I don't know how to play with the downswing thing. It's killing me. But I do. When you're playing with the pros, just against buddies, it's great. It's fun. It's old Tiger Woods. It's Tiger Woods. It's a golf game. It's great. But no, I can't hit for shit in baseball. There's a broken PlayStation 4 controller over here from like the shutdown during COVID because I was up until 4 a.m. practicing and I thought I really had it, and then I got one hit and I just don't get it.
Base running still fucks me up in that game.
Yeah,
I guarantee if I play a 9-inning game, I guarantee you 2 base running fuck ups. It's like the real White Sox.
2022 Cubs and White Sox.
Yeah, it's like the real White Sox. I guess maybe that's what they were going for, to make it more authentic for Chicago fans. Mitch, what year team do you have on your shirt? I've been looking at it the whole episode.
This is 2005.
That's what I thought.
It's like Rick Hahn staring at Benintendi.
Yeah. Salivating. I was just trying to figure out the team.
Right, I think the shape. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it's like in the shape of the World Series trophy too, I think.
Which that could be
clever.
The new Crosstown Cup trophy.
There you go. This is a free giveaway shirt at a Sox game a couple of years ago.
What were you, 5 in 2005?
No. This is like for the reunion, I think.
Oh.
I don't remember what year this was. I
was gonna say, there's no way that shirt fit you in 2005.
No shot.
So do you
Jermaine Dye was my favorite player of that team because I loved his name. Jermaine Dye. That's how I did.
Jermaine Dye. Jermaine Dye was very underrated.
World Series MVP.
As a whole. But he was like a stud in Oakland too. And he was pretty good with the White Sox. But Jermaine Dye was, I think, an underappreciated player.
Yep.
It's a callback from last week's show. What were you going to say, Aldo?
Oh, I was gonna ask, do you think MLB The Show has fallen into the same
Madden?
The same Madden. Like Madden was fucking 04 Madden was peak.
Oh,
yep.
Like the training camp mini games, everything about that was, and then they just. I remember playing. I think because it was like a long time after 2009, 2010. I stopped really playing Madden, and then I played with some younger cousins. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm just trying to throw a deep bomb.
04 Madden playing those mini games with that soundtrack.
Yes.
Hours, dude. So many hours of my life. And
I was even
great.
saying, even
because I was in college at the time, you would just sit there and get hammered with your boys, and you would switch off doing the mini games, and it was
I think even Madden 08 with Vince Young, I still think that one was all right because that one had some newer mini games. I still think those were all right, but I have no clue what's going on with Madden now.
Oh shit! The Bulls beat the Nets.
They always beat the good teams.
Yeah, no, the Bulls. Yeah.
If they play the Rockets, then they're screwed.
Yeah.
You give them a contender, then they'll show up.
True.
I think that's now 8-1 against the Nets.
Yep.
The Celtics. Who else?
Bucks.
The Heat.
The Bucks.
The Bucks. Yeah. They just can't beat the Cavaliers.
Right. Or the Rockets.
Or the 76ers.
Yep. Bring back NFL Blitz. Fuck yeah.
Oh. Do you remember Baseball Simulator? It was a Baseball Simulator 5000 where you could hit a line drive, and if you had the right setting, the guy would catch it on his chest and it would just carry him all the way to the fence.
I don't remember that one, Kevin, but similar to NFL Blitz, MLB Slugfest.
Oh, that was good.
I remember I think it was MLB Slugfest 04. Jim Edmonds on the cover. You can be on fire, slide into bases, knock guys 20 feet back.
The big bats too.
The big bat with swords, playing Atlantis.
Wait, we're going to be real. The best game of all time is Baseball Stars. I mean, that was it. That changed it. Or Bases Loaded if you want to talk about cool fights.
Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest. That
was good too. RBI was good. I liked RBI. Andre Dawson was good on RBI. Just throw the ball in the dirt every time.
Mitch, what's your first sports video game you remember playing?
Does Wii Sports count?
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus,
Wii
you're young.
Baseball was my first.
Jesus Christ. you're
Oh
wild.
man, I think I was in middle school. All right.
That was
Grown
like,
ass
like
adult at that point.
game. Then the 2Ks. I had the
I was
2K
doing cocaine
baseball
like too much.
and 2K basketball for the longest time. But they still did basketball. But before they had like the show for Xbox, I always played
Yep.
2K for the MLB. And then it got to the point it was so old, like we never bought. Me and my brother, we couldn't afford to get a new one, so we would just update all the rosters, like and create players. So like we had a Jose Abreu that we like created on there that looked like nothing like him, but it's like 2014, like 2 years afterwards.
Okay. Hey, so maybe you, Aldo, you probably won't, and I'm 100% sure you won't. Do you remember what Nintendo sports game had this sound effect?
RBI baseball.
No,
Was it? I can hear the noise in my head.
this is the gameplay sound.
Yeah. I can hear it. Like the actual, what game was it?
And if you ran at an angle, they couldn't tackle you.
Techno Bowl.
No, yeah. Techno
10-yard
Bowl.
fight. 10-yard fight.
I remember 10-yard fight, Blades of
That's what
Steel.
They would kick it off and they go when you're running down, and pew pew pew. People would
Blades
dive
of
at you.
Steel was always a good one.
was a good
Techno
one.
Bowl was a good one. RBI baseball.
Double dribble.
Double dribble.
The weird lake dude on the fucking sidelines running back and forth. The water guy. I don't even know what the hell was that?
Then what was the game? The baseball game where you had like animals and like robots and like space. It was like space
Baseball
something.
Simulator 5000. That's where you hit a line drive that would take the guy all the way to the fence.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who is the good? There's that Pablo character in Backyard Baseball that would always kill you.
Backyard baseball. That was good. That was decent.
Jordan versus Bird. That was a good one. I think that was a PC. Wasn't that like on a Commodore?
No, Jordan vs. Bird was on Nintendo. I remember that game. I had that
My
game.
first game system was Nintendo 64. First game, Raw is War. Stone Cold
Oh,
Steve
those were
Austin
so
on
good.
the cover.
Nice.
Those were so good.
Cruising
It's-
USA.
Do you remember
James
the
Bond,
the old like
007. Ooh.
after the NBA Finals came out, you would always get the EA Sports like Bulls versus Blazers game.
Oh, dude, that game was sweet too. And Charles Barkley with the big old dunks
Yeah.
too. Oh, that
Those
was a great
games were
game.
always good.
First Madden 99 with Eddie George on the cover.
That was a good Madden.
How about what is it? Sports Talk Football. Joe Montana Sports Talk Football on Sega Genesis, like the
99?
original.
Yep. Remember
Was it Al Michaels? Was it Al Michaels?
Bill Walsh College Football on Sega CD? What's
NCAA
up?
football
What you
in
know
general.
about Sega CD, Mitch?
Yeah.
You don't know shit about Sega CD.
You never even played Altered Beast. What?
Altered Beast, holy fuck.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't Madden 99. Damn, what was it? 01?
I think 01 was Eddie George. I think.
Yep, 01. Madden 01. Cade McNown, Bears starting quarterback in that game. Fuck it. That was like my first year of being a Bears fan.
There's nothing better though. Was it 04 when Mike Vick was at his peak? Like
Yeah,
04?
04.
Where it's
04
just like
Vic and Madden was
shotgun,
the
two-step
ultimate.
drop, and then just run.
Yep, or play action Hail Mary. Just
No,
let
the play
everybody-
action, just deep
Yep.
in route to LG Crumpler,
Yep.
the tight end.
And then, I mean, we'd be remiss since we're rifling off all the college football games.
Oh yeah.
Which I can't wait till they come back. I just hope they don't fuck it up. But
Speaking
that
of
was
being able to throw Hail Marys, that game was just
But that's the best part of the college football games, and I guess that kind of comes full circle back to what I'm talking about with the story mode in the show. But like, to be able to recruit players, to be able to like take a like bullshit college and then recruit all the like 5-star athletes, and you get one and you take control and you run the gamut on the season, and then hell yeah, dude, like those NCAA
Taking
games
Illinois
were
to the national championship.
I took UNLV to the national championship. Like they've won 2 bowl games in history.
yeah, dude, no, but like I would go
Been
and
to
take
2 bowl
like
games.
you take like the bogus ass schools, like the smallest school you can find. That was always like the fun challenge. It's like how many years would it take you to take like the shittiest
UNLV?
small school?
It's the
The
worst.
last one I had was
basketball.
NCAA 07. Juice Williams on Illinois with
Oh, yeah.
Rashard Mendenhall.
Oh, Mendenhall. Yeah.
Aurelius Ben, maybe? No, I think that was after.
So I mean, obviously we're leaving off the GOAT baseball game, which is MVP baseball 05.
Never played.
Oh my god, That was like the baseball game of all baseball games. And then they had the college version of it, which was sick because two of my buddies were in that game. And I remember and you were able to fuck with their stats, and we juiced them up and made them awesome. One played for University of Louisiana Lafayette, and one played for Wichita State.
Okay.
And I just, for some weird reason, I don't know who it was either, like who it was supposed to be, because you couldn't use players' real names.
Yeah.
But there was like a first baseman for Florida. I remember that dude just hit bombs.
Jeff Conine.
Now I got to find out who it was. Hold on. Shit.
You know what they never really came out with, which was really disappointing, was an actual college baseball game.
It was
Like
MVP
I always thought EA
06.
Sports was going to come out with like a college.
Yeah.
was that
MVP
one?
baseball 06, NCAA baseball.
Yeah, but then
That
when
was
I
the
was
one.
going to keep up with it. Like it took a
Yeah.
while, and it just died. It was only one season, right?
Hold on.
Only
I got
one.
rosters in NCAA 2006
Just stopped after. It was just one though, right?
video game. Hold on. I just got to find out who the fuck this guy was. I don't want the football ones. I want the baseball.
That UT was on the cover of that too, weren't they?
Come on, give me the rosters.
Oh yeah, David Moreau. That's right.
It had such a good soundtrack.
He was
too.
the MVP of the College World Series.
Fuck. I gotta find these rosters because I gotta find out who this player was.
What year you say? 2006?
Came out in
2006.
2005. Oh
Yeah,
no,
so-
no! They lost their license, major league license. This was their substitute for baseball with MLB because EA lost the Major League Baseball license
Yep.
in 2005. So then they jumped to the NCAA baseball.
2006 Florida Gators baseball roster. I don't know why I just didn't start here, anyways. Who was on this team that would be considered good?
Because MVP baseball 05 was Major League. Because that was Manny Ramirez on the cover.
Yep. There you go. Healy just backed you up right there, Fitz. Did you know that MVP stopped because 2K got petty about Madden and got the license for baseball for them and anyone but EA? Darren O'Day, the pitcher for the he's been in the league for 1,000,000 years. He was on the 06 Florida Gators.
Okay.
Who would have been hitting bombs, dude?
I'm looking at the
ESPN
roster.
2K5 was an awesome game.
Oh man, there's a guy named Thad McBurrows.
FIFA's always been a good game too.
Yep.
FIFAs are always good. I'm just never good at them. I know one play, and I just know to try to get the ball in the corner and then do a cross and then just mash the buttons and hope something cool happens.
Mitch, what's your favorite NASCAR video game?
I don't play too many of them, surprisingly. NASCAR Heat was always good. That was the one I liked.
Was there like a
I picture
Daytona?
career mode would be cool. Like you got to travel in your truck and on the bus.
It's
down to town.
frustrating early on though when you have crappy equipment because then you're just like running in the back the whole time. Or if you have like the damage on and you stink and you'd always wreck your car in the super speedways. That's before I was a big NASCAR fan. We got a free version of the one in the career mode. I just kept wrecking our equipment. It was terrible.
Gave up. It's like me. I
want to say it was just Matt Laporta.
You just can't.
What happened to you, dude?
What is it? What are you asking? What
I'm
is
trying to figure out who the dude on Florida
The
was.
first
that just
baseman for Florida.
bombs.
it? University of Florida?
Yeah. He had 20 home runs that season, so it might have been him because that's a lot in college.
Matt Laporta.
Matt
Says here he's a
Laporta.
That was a
catcher.
guy from Texas.
Yeah, I know,
A&M.
but it says infield if you
Oh, okay.
pull up his bio. Matt Laporta, baseball. What happened to your career? Drafted by the Cubs
Yo.
in the 14th round of the 03 amateur draft.
No, he didn't sign.
Then the Boston Red Sox in the 14th round of the 06 amateur draft.
Didn't
And then
sign
the
again.
Brewers in the first round of the 07 amateur draft. He was a -1 career WAR player. He played for the Indians from 09 to 12.
Okay.
Did not hit.
Okay.
Well, he had 12 home runs in 2010.
You said Laporta. That's who you're talking about too, right? Big guy, big righty.
Yeah, he's a catcher, infielder, first base and left field. He played in the pros.
He hit a home run in 5 straight games, 3 of which were 2-homer games at one point during his
He
senior
must have
season.
been good in college. He had Scott Boras as his agent.
Yeah, I mean, first rounder
Yeah.
eventually.
Sorry, I know we just went down a super big rabbit hole there, but yeah, I just had to know because I won a lot of money with that guy.
Probably wears his hat though, like a goober.
Shout out to the Laporta family.
Yeah, shout out Laporte.
If you guys are listening.
You won me a lot of beer money, dude. A lot of beer money in
The
college.
reporters are listening. We'll send you a signed Bush Light can.
Yep.
Yeah. From the
Heard
Prince of Bush.
That is a hot commodity. Shit, I was playing with my
It's a double entendre there, Zoe. I thought about it.
the Prince of Bush. Those days are long over. Oh my god. New guys in
What
the
are you going to be
corner picking us
autographing
up.
on Saturdays?
Cans. Oh shit, that's a
Oh,
double
shit.
entendre, too.
Okay.
No, that doesn't work. I mean, that's double there too.
You
God
clip
damn
that, send it over to the wife.
Cans.
So excited.
Yeah. Aluminum cylinders that were filled with light beer is what I will be signing. If you don't think I'm going to show up with this Sharpie here, you're out of your damn mind.
You better have that shit in your ear when you roll in.
Get his autograph on a Bush.
Over under
Right
autographs.
there, like right there, yeah. Right up, stuck it right in your hat, just like that. Like you're ready to like make a lineup change.
Over under, you set the over under autographs.
2.5. 2.5. Actually, 1.5. I think is probably a little bit more fair.
1.5.
Yeah.
Over.
I feel like just mentioning it now just hits the over.
I'll bet $100 on the over.
Ooh.
Oh,
You're gonna tell people that you will
Yeah,
autograph.
I could
Hard.
I'll just walk around and like sign my name on a napkin and put it on people's tables.
Protect
like,
you from yourself there, Mitch.
Autograph.
Zoe's an old wily veteran. Get those bets in.
Autograph.
well, that doesn't count if you're just signing. They have to ask you for it.
Yeah, they have to ask for
Over
it.
the Bush can and ask you for an autograph.
Okay, hey dude, ask me for my autograph. I'll give you $10.
No propositions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 14 people listening right now on the one channel.
You can have it on your name tags, though, but you can't outwardly ask or tell them.
Well, what if I just put my name on my name tag? Southside Zoe, ask me for my autograph.
Yeah, there you go.
They'd only know if they're listening to the podcast. Can't be like that.
Bulls beat the Nets, and you know who was in a box in the skybox? The new skipper, Pedro.
In the box.
He was in the
Pedro,
house.
Bulls don't quit. The Bulls get like an 8 seed. Watch out, because they only beat the good teams. They're gonna be a problem if they're playing a 1 seed in the first round.
Pedro at the UC wearing a Peaky Blinders hat.
Well, no, that's the problem, Mitch, though, because if they get the AC, they have to play in that play-in tournament.
Oh, they're screwed if they're playing a tournament. Oh no. Okay, so
Because if they're the 8 seed, they're gonna have to play the 9 seed, and that's probably gonna be a mediocre
that's
team.
gonna be a loss.
So, yep.
Oh, I forgot about that pesky playing tournament.
Chicago sports, huh, fellas? Kind of rough.
It's
Pretty brutal.
It's been a rough decade.
Hey, the Chicago Wolves won a title.
And the WNBA team,
The Sky, that's right.
they're good. Although not as good as the Aces. What up? Defending WNBA.
Yeah, take that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minor league hockey and women's basketball. Unlike Trevor Bauer, we care
The
about
field hockey team is good. They get like Arena League. What's going on at the Rosemont?
The Bears get the first pick if they lose and the
Well, if
Texans
Houston
win.
win.
Yeah, Texans win.
Yep.
I'm not that, like, I'll be honest, unlike years past, like, don't get me wrong, I want the first pick, but is it really that exciting? Like, we're not going to be drafting a quarterback. They're probably just going to trade down.
How about this too?
No,
They announced
no,
Justin
what I-
Fields so early that they're not going to sell many tickets for. I mean, Sunday's attendance is going to be probably pretty shit. Who's going to
Yeah,
go watch
right.
Nate Peterman?
Peterman.
Watch
Crazy
Nate
people, I
Peterman.
tell you,
I think
crazy
a lot of
people.
people
will.
watch Drew Peter.
No, what I really hope,
Peterman?
Fids, what I really hope that happens is that the Bears trade the first or second pick, whatever they get, to the Raiders for Devontae Adams in the 9th pick.
I dig that.
So the Bears then they stay in the top 10. They get their big wide receiver target that they've haven't had in
I
years.
think it would take a little more than that, though.
I don't know because the Raiders are going to get a franchise quarterback in the deal.
No, the Vegas would have to trade more because Adams has a huge contract.
That's true.
Vegas is
That is true.
they're already pushing the hey, maybe we found our quarterback and we
He had
don't
a
need
decent
Lumby's
game.
gonna-
He
we're
didn't even have a good game. He had a decent
That's going
game.
to screw it up. The Texans are going to win that game and screw it up for the Bears. That's
But
the Texans need to win the game.
I think that's the way to go, though, for
It's
the
a good
Bears.
thing.
You trade with the Raiders. You swap, give them the whatever first or second pick. You get Adams and whatever and the 9th pick. And then you get just all the Bears need to draft is offensive or defensive linemen.
Yeah, that front is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
And guess who's a free agent this offseason, if I'm not going crazy? Isn't Josh Jacobs a free agent?
Yes. Bears
So-
don't need a running
I
back.
don't. You don't. You don't need to. Never
Montgomery's a
pay
free
running
agent
backs.
too. Wouldn't you upgrade with Jacobs?
Nah.
Nope.
You know,
Never pay running back.
they're a dime a dozen.
But-
Never pay second contract to NFL running backs. Don't pay huge money to middle relievers. Recon.
Yeah. And so as a Bears fan, this is the first time I'm actually looking forward to an offseason because one, the new GM, two, they're going to have a top pick,
Salary cap.
and they also have a ton of draft picks as
Salary
well.
cap, yep.
123 million in cap space.
They have the most cap money. Like, there's a lot of good. The wide receiver free agent market blows, but there's a lot of really good defensive linemen that are going to be on the market that they can go grab, and they can do some things. Like this can be for all intents and purposes, they can go from the basement to the penthouse pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Especially with the Packers.
It doesn't take long in the
decline.
NFL.
No.
The NFL doesn't take long to fix things like this.
If
Look
they
at the
get
Bengals.
the first pick, like whoever it is, just like destroy them with the trade package.
Yeah, I think they
Get
they
like
trade out. If
three
they get the first
firsts,
pick,
a
they trade
couple
out of it.
seconds.
You got to trade out of it because it's really not worth keeping it just for. I mean, that kid from Bama, the defensive lineman, he's going to be a stud, but like, go get a stud wide receiver and like 3 picks. You know what I mean?
Who needs quarterbacks? So you're looking at Colts. You're looking
Raiders,
at the Raiders,
Jets,
Seahawks.
Houston,
Panthers.
Seahawks, Panthers.
Seahawks.
You've got. I mean, Detroit. Is Detroit in on Goff now?
I think
don't
they
think-
are.
Yeah.
He's been pretty solid. Who else? I mean Tennessee, but they.
Oh, they got that kid.
No, he sucks. He
Or draft another one. Yeah.
he sucks, dude. He
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
who
I
else?
think. But go get all right. Trade with Seattle. Go get Metcalf and
Ooh,
some picks.
I was gonna say I mean,
that would
they don't
be
have any
pretty
picks
sweet.
though. But who else?
Chicago Bulls head coach Billy Donovan differs.
Yeah, it's got all those picks from Denver.
Yeah, for
Oh yeah,
Russell
no,
Wilson.
I was thinking of the Rams with Stafford and whatever his health, but they
Denver
don't have
might-
any picks.
Denver needs a quarterback too, don't they? Who's their
Denver has no.
They get Russell Wilson.
Denver's got a lot of good
Russell
receivers.
Wilson
too.
and
They
no
need, definitely
draft
need a
pick.
quarterback. They need a quarterback. It's 'cause-
Denver's got a nice
What is-
receiver stable there.
What is
Yeah.
the Russell Wilson thing that he did this year too? Which was his
Broncos country.
right, yeah. Oh god, that was so cringe.
No, I think
That
the
was
funniest thing is Subway like pulled his name from the sandwich.
Be careful, it's spicy.
Have you ever done anything dangerous?
Dangerous.
That was Rick Hahn talking to Benny Biceps.
Fellas,
The quarterback,
I think it's time.
Houston.
Oh shit.
Oh, are you doing it, sir?
Heard all though, you were the only mic that didn't get muted during the song.
He behaved.
Go ahead.
All
Rip
right.
it.
So I was been teasing the BJ McLeod origin story for a while because you have a guy like BJ McLeod, you'd think it's some wild origin story. It's really not. It's not all that interesting. You know, he had a bunch of like starting parks like coming up where like the team would fund a car. run one lap, and then just park it with like a fake mechanical problem so they could collect the race prize money and it wouldn't tear up their equipment and they could just bring it to the next week. So they made a bunch of money off of that. But otherwise, it wasn't too interesting. So instead, I'm going to tell you the story of Randy Lanier, another racer. Didn't race in NASCAR, but it's a pretty interesting one. I think you'll enjoy it. So Randy Lanier, he was like this Florida country bumpkin. And as he's coming up, he was racing like the IMSA series, which is like endurance racing. So he's racing all these teams like Jaguar and Porsche, and he's winning a bunch of races. Like no one knows where this guy came from. He won the championship in his first year there with a bunch of people that have never raced before. Like he never raced before, really. And everyone's like, where the hell did this guy come from? So then he went to IndyCar after winning the IMSA championship. He won Le Mans, which is like one of the famous races, like a 24-hour race. It's endurance racing. So then he goes to IndyCar. He wins Rookie of the Year at IndyCar. Everyone's like, wow, this guy's incredible. Like, how the hell is he funding all of his race team? Because he didn't have any sponsors behind him, really. And like I said, he came out of nowhere. Well, as it turns out, Randy Lanier was smuggling weed into the country to fund his racing career. So the man started smoking pot at like 14 years old. Then as he got a little older, he started selling it. Then he had a friend that raced boats. And so they would like ship it in. They'd like bring it in on boats. And then as they got bigger and bigger, they started like making a little operation, all of him and his friends. And they got these giant boats that would like cargo ships, and they'd sneak it in at the bottom of these cargo ships. And so he basically funded his entire race team based off of weed.
Oh, well, that's NASCAR like Prohibition. Come on now.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just
like
following
roots of NASCAR. I learned that in Cars, the movie. Cars
There
3.
you go. So then they eventually find out during his second year of the IndyCar season, he's at like a diner and he sees on the TV, the FBI is like raiding his house while he's at the diner. So he's like, oh shit, that's not good. So he hops in his boat. He flees the country. He's off on like an island somewhere for like a year, just like MIA.
Island boys.
The feds show up on the island he's at, tries to escape on like a private jet, but the private jet was a setup. So they got his ass and then he got thrown in jail.
Was it a free boat giveaway?
Say that again?
Was it a free boat giveaway?
No, it was not. But there you go. I thought his origin story slightly more interesting. Not quite NASCAR related, but there you go. He made some left turns, so close enough.
Have we figured out how that one dude got his money? Have you told us that yet?
BJ McLeod, that's the guy I was telling you about at the beginning there. Wasn't that interesting?
But like, no, I get that, but like, so it's just all drug money?
Oh, Randy Lanier?
Hold on, I'm very confused now.
Which guy are you talking about?
BJ.
Oh, yeah. No, so like, they not really. He was just kind of rich. He was born into a pretty rich family, and then as he was coming up, like he had his own like couple racing teams, and they would just do a bunch of like starting parks. So they'd run a lap, park the car because it would be like a mechanical problem, but really it wasn't. They just didn't want to tear up their equipment, so they'd collect the race check, and then they could go to the next race with the same crappy car because they'd only have to run the lap. So he got like a lot of money doing that.
Okay.
And he just started his own motorsports team, and he got some sponsors, I guess. And that's why he's able to run laps today in last place every time. Although he's looking to sell his team, so he might not be in the Cup Series much longer. So there you go. Your NASCAR minute.
Nope. Gotta play the video.
This Padres pitch is shitting bricks right now. Why? Because Danny fucking Burgess is up and back. Guy just ordered Shake Shack straight to the dugout. He's
Fucking Shake Shack.
Every
straight
time.
to the dugout. Woo. All right.
It's too bad we couldn't talk about Trackhouse Racing.
What is track? All right. I'll
Someone submitted
I'll
that.
be your
question.
Huck-
Just
I'll
know
be your, I'll be your Huckleberry. What's Trackhouse Racing?
Trackhouse Racing is a team Daniel Suarez drives for that is also
Oh,
co-owned by Pitbull. Their first year of existence, got a guy that went to the championship, Ross Chastain. He's the guy that was messing everyone up because he kept wrecking all of them. And then he had the cool move where he was riding the wall or whatever.
Yeah. So is it like indoor racing or what?
No, it's just the name of the team. Like they have
Oh,
Racing.
okay.
They have, Trackhouse Racing.
That was a Cody Bellinger question.
That's where I got very confused because
No, it was very much NASCAR question. Because Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain are the two people on Trackhouse Racing's team, and Chastain just made the championship in like their first year, and both those guys were like pretty underperforming drivers. The one was racing for like Chip Ganassi, and Suarez had been all over, and then they both broke out last year.
Well, thank you for answering my question.
Suarez is about to have another breakout season this year.
Where is the porn music coming from?
It's from StreamYard.
They're kicking us off.
Who clicked that?
We're just
you?
testing out the music.
Yeah,
See
Oh,
what
man.
we like.
I thought I had a browser window open, and I'm like, what?
Wait, is this the name of this song? Is literally feeding the ducks?
Hey, Andrew Benintendi, come over to the south side. You look good in those tight white pants.
For you listening at home, light a candle. There you go.
There's some entrance music.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
This is like Raw is War and shit.
Yeah.
All right, what's this one? Oh yeah. All you fellas out there, find your lady. This is an
Andrew.
all skate.
How about you?
This is
swing
an
that
all
red
skate.
for me?
Andrew, would you go ahead and pick up that pen I just dropped, boy?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, would you like some Merlot? Toilet.
We gotta stop this. I said like 5 things in my head that I'm glad I didn't say out loud. So, woo. All right.
Eric Hosmer. Yeah.
Didn't know we had music like that. Any crazy chance the Bears trade Fields and draft a QB?
No, don't
No.
look Bill Hards on ESPN. They were all talking about that on ESPN like radio today. Make me sick. I don't think so.
That's the other thing. I'm gonna end the show on this note. With all this Skip Bayless shit and all this stuff, the only way you get rid of guys like that is stop watching them. Don't interact with them on social media. Don't watch their show. That's the only way they go away. Because the reason he's got a job is because although he says stupid, outlandish shit, people hate watch. People interact. The numbers are there.
He's entertaining.
One other thing. I didn't realize, and I know, there have been some other shorter quarterbacks in recent years who have had success.
Short kids.
I didn't realize that Bryce Young was like at his very tallest 6 feet.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
he can
not-
sling it. He can
He's
sling
shorter
it.
than
But,
Drew Brees? No.
yeah.
Is he shorter than Rex Grossman?
He's taller than Kyler Murray.
Lexi? Ah, what a great quarterback.
Rex Grossman was the king of I can't see over my lineman, so I'm just gonna chuck it.
Chuck
Chuck it
Someone's
80
gonna
yards
get
to
on there.
Bernard Berrian.
Somewhere.
And it
Grossman
worked.
was 6'1", by the way.
It worked so well until the Super Bowl.
Oh, until they trailed immediately because on a broken defensive play. Well, they didn't trail. Sorry, they didn't trail, but they
No.
Yeah, when they up?
Bears were up 14-6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
broken play bothers me. Who slipped in the secondary?
Daniel
Someone
Manning.
was it Manning? Yeah.
Oh.
And typical. What's his name? Got hurt, right?
Tommy
guy?
Harris. Or no,
No.
Mike Brown early in the season.
No, what's his guy was always hurt. In the secondary though. God, what's his name? He ended up going to the Bucks, I think.
Oh.
I forget.
I don't know. All right, fellas. So for all those Fids, that's Mitch. I'm Zoe. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday, folks. But tune in next week.
Get his autograph.
Take care.